Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was born in Salzburg, Austria, on January 27, 1756. His father, Leopold, was court musician to the archbishop and married to Anna Maria, daughter of a civil servant. They had 7 children, and only 2 of them left: his elder sister, Nona, and Wolfgang. During the year of his son's birth, Leopold published a violin textbook which made him famous. At age 3, Wolfgang began to remember themes and pick out chords and started to compose at 5. Leopold devoted his time to their education in music as well as other subjects. At age 6, Leopold took him and Nona to Vienna. The Empress Maria Theresa received the Mozarts. Her daughter picked Wolfgang up when he fell on the floor. He had told her, "You are kind, I'll marry you." The children got presents of court dresses in which they were painted. In London, Johann Christian Bach allowed Wolfgang to improvise with him while sitting on his lap. It was in London that Mozart wrote his first symphony. At age 12, he first wrote an opera, then set off for Italy, the home of opera. Mozart wrote a new opera, his first big public success, and 2 more operas were followed. He learned a lot from these operas, both about writing and rehearsing and coping with singers. Clement XIV appointed him to the Order of the Golden Spur. His childhood ended with the death of old Archbishop, who was very kind, and the succession of his formidable successor, Colloredo. Upon their return, he appointed young Mozart as assistant concertmaster. He composed a great number of genres. At age 21, Mozart escaped from the Archbishop's tyranny and set out on a job-hunting tour with his mother. He fell in love with Aloysia Weber and planned to go on tour with the family. But Leopold ordered his son and wife to go to Paris to get more respectable job. The saddest part of the trip was when his mother fell ill and died in Paris. Mozart returned to Salzburg alone. At age 25, his opera Idomeneo, as it was Mozart's first masterpiece, constituted the transition to an entirely new epoch of his life. Mozart resigned his job in Salzburg, and he chose to develop his own freelance career. The Abduction from the Seraglio was premiered and achieved great success. Translation appeared and have made him famous. On August 4th, Mozart and Constanze married in St. Stephen's Cathedral. He was 26 and the bride was 20. In his day, Vienna had become the dance capital of the world with the minuet, and Mozart loved dancing. He was a great dancer too. He focused his career as a piano soloist and writer of concertos. His concerts were very popular, and the couple enjoyed luxurious lifestyle. Their first child was born in 1782, but soon died. A second son and their last son were survived out of 6 children. He decided to become a mason. Masonry also gave him access to wealthy men who could lend him money later on. Around this time, Mozart met Haydn and they became friends. When Leopold was visiting his son in Vienna, Haydn told him, "I swear by God that your son is the most gifted musician I have ever known." In the meantime, Mozart had met Da Ponte. He wrote the libretto for 3 Mozart operas: The Marriage of Figaro, Don Giovanni, and Così fan tutte. The death of his beloved father opened the last phase of Mozart's life. He finally received an imperial post as chamber composer, but the payment was not enough. Austria was at war, and the ability of the aristocracy to support music had declined. Mozart began to borrow money, most often from his fellow mason, Puchberg. But his last year was a time of high productivity, now turned to another singspiel, at the request of an old friend called Serenade. His masterpiece, Magic Flute, was born. Salieri was really impressed at the premiere, shouting "Bravo!" In July, Mozart was commissioned by a mysterious stranger to write a Requiem and was paid a generous advance. Then he caught an infection which seems to have aggravated the kidney weakness that had plagued him for many years. On his deathbed, "I am composing the Requiem for myself," and he died on December 5th, 1791. In his lifetime, Mozart started his day with hot chocolate and white rose. His all-time favorite was liver dumplings with sauerkraut. He was a dressy guy, hiring a barber, coming to dress his hair once a day. He loved playing billiards, and he had a fetish about smooth, rolling objects. He liked to handle them while thinking and creating. Billiard balls were perfect for this purpose. Once he got an idea, Mozart had the great gift of being able to start as soon as he sat down to write, as well as power of concentration. Luigi Bassi, who played Don Giovanni, once said, "He was very popular with the ladies, in spite of his diminutive size. His face was intriguing, and his eyes could hold the ladies spellbound." Here's the letter of Mozart, written near the close of his life. "I know by my feelings that I have reached the end, without having reaped the pleasure my talent should have brought me. And yet life was so beautiful."